Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to our recap, I suppose, of Week 7, as we're going to be going over 3 of the more playoff-indicating high-pressure drama situation series that occurred over the past week or so. My name is Formal. Joining me up above, even though she may live down below, it is Fetch, as we get ready for this, 1, 2, 3 series showdown, starting, of course, with the new Bombers taking on RMIT Purple.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The Boomers, there's a bit of history behind that name in the AEL. I think I've been longer here. That name has been circulating around the scene longer than I have. And they're up against RMIT Purple. I think it'll be an interesting little match. I think that as games go, possibly not the most exciting match we have. You talked about kind of playoff implications and things like that. This, I think, is more to, try and kind of keep these really big season scores alive, as opposed to, kind of being a quick, determining how playoff standings are going to look.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to put it. Coming into this matchup, UON, they're playing for that undefeated record, I guess a chance to secure the #1 seed. Meanwhile, RMIT Purple, they're playing more to, end on a bit of a high. Technically, they have been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. As you can see, the RMIT Purple lineup here. Daxter, Brisky, and Scuttled. Up against them, the new Boomers, which is Husey, Storm, Spoon, Anti-Venom. Husey, been on stream a fair bit, kind of is that player to watch on this side. This is a very mech-heavy team, and I'm going to be expecting more of the same in this replay.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, there's one of those games where you kind of just got to get stuck into it. There's probably not a lot more we can say, so and again, the good thing I always love is that we don't have to wait for players. We just get to hit the start button. They don't have to wait for us, which is probably more annoying of the two things, but we just get to do it. We get to do it at our own pace. It's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah, it is going to be fun, but before we get into it, though, do need to thank some of the sponsors who helps put this together. Now, the AEUL is presented by Chatime Australia, the bubble tea partner, AOC Monitors, our monitor partner, Indomie Noodle partner, and RIG, the headset partner. I mean, each of these companies do so much to help put this event together. Obviously, AOC, they're out there providing that best viewing experience. They're a global leader in monitor display technology. Been around for more than 50 years. They've been delivering exceptional viewing experience to millions of loyal customers worldwide. I mean, they have a wide selection of various monitors for pretty much, home life, office life, or for those of us who do like to play the games, they have what you need. But when you're playing games, you get thirsty, you need a drink. Well, that's where Chatime will hook you up. Some of the best fresh iced tea out there. You can try new ranges at your local store. Trust me, you're going to find one of those stores. There's 120 of them spread out throughout Australia. I'm sure you live nearby. I mean, these breweries have a commitment to quality ingredients, unique mix-ins. I mean, they're always, you can go sweet, you can kind of go a little bit savory, you can do the whole Philadelphia cheese topping. They have so many unique styles and flavors, and go out there and find that one that suits you. With the drink, though, you're going to need that food, and that's where Indomie sets you up. Feed that game. Try out any of their flavors today. They also have a wide selection of flavors you can go to. 14 different products, all made from some of the best quality flour and fresh spices, straight from Indonesia, giving them that unique and delicious taste. And then, well, now you're set. You've got your drink, you've got your food, you've got your monitor. All you need is to hear our beautiful voices, and that's where RIG will hook you up. They develop headsets delivering superior audio quality for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. So join that RIG team and enhance your gaming experience. Fetch, are you ready to go?
I am absolutely ready to go, and if you disagree that our voices are amazing, well, you should have bought some RIG headsets. But yes, I'm ready to get into the game. I'm super keen for this one. I think it's going to be probably, again, the biggest, the sort of more one-sided of the set. We've kind of given you our reasons why, but the only way to really see that play out is by hitting that go button. Here we go.
Yep.
RMIT Purple up against UON New Boomers in the blue. Well, RMIT Purple in the orange. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can fill in the gaps for yourself.
Yeah, I know. Orange is the new purple right now, and I guess Boomers are the new blue. They each start with B. That does make some sense. As we see a nice little pass over to Anti-Venom. We'll look to play it off the wall. A fair bit of space to work with right now. Coming into this, we were talking about, how the new Boomers, largely play through Husey in the past. Well, Husey actually not in this one. A bit of a sub situation for the Boomers. Curious to see if that's actually going to affect their results in this, because obviously they're already in the playoffs. Why not give the sub a go?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely it. I really like the the kind of developing and making sure you've got as much talent to play with, and having that substitute be able to pick up a few games on in the bracket, it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I believe you were saying that this is for their undefeated streak, but yeah, I'm sure they're not going to feel too bad coming in with one loss on the board. But at the moment, New Boomers 1-0 up, looking pretty well like they're in control of this. Because I don't think they've had the ball in their defensive half at all, have they?
No, not really. It's been a lot of attacking pressure, actually. And I mean, so much so that they kind of forced the own goal with that setup right there. It was Spoon getting credit for that goal. 1-0 lead for the UON side, as they are looking to add to it at the moment. A big swing and a miss out of the defense in the corner. Second shot, though, will come straight into the net. Scuttled has to put it in a dangerous spot. Follow through. Not quite there for the goal. And now perhaps we can see this orange side create some space.
Yeah, there it is. And I kind of like the attempt there from, I think it was Scuttled, to try and kind of shepherd off the one potential defender there as they tried to make that quick play through. But it didn't quite work out. They are actually establishing a good attack here. They have the player up, but didn't quite get that little bicycle kick roof touch, I think it was. But it's going to be a 1v1, a dangerous 1v1 as well, as it's just run up the field. I like the pressure from RMIT Purple, even they're going to overextend. You got to take some risks against some of the higher ranked teams. Yeah,
sometimes you do. However, when out down 2-0, not necessarily the start they were looking for. That was Anti-Venom getting credit for the goal right there. A Storm will get one for themselves as well. That is a goal for everyone at the moment for the UON Boomer side.
The team hat trick? Is that the term? I don't know. I always get confused with like phrases teammates and stuff like that. Oh, Anti-Venom. Okay, it's fine. I was expecting there to be some of the stylish plays you're talking about, but they got too confident.
Oh, that's a little awkward. You go for the reset, you miss it, and then your opponents score, and you feel a little silly. Granted, I don't think that's going to have too much of significance right now. I'm surprised the middle of the field was that open, and you can see the immediate adjustment coming from the new Boomer side. They're now seeking a member back and in the middle. It was Storm at first, now Spoon in that similar role. They're definitely going to be doing their part, trying to start RMIT from getting another quick one like that. Yeah,
that's it. I mean, they're kind of holding their ground a little bit better here, but not by a huge amount. All right, that was a whiff. That's how it always happens, but at least they've got like a bit more control, I guess, is kind of where I'm coming from this. It's not just a matter of play of UON just doing whatever they want with the ball. Like, they've even got a bit of an offensive opportunity here as ball goes across the face, above the face. There we are. I mean, like, the defense. This is the thing. Just because we've only seen UON on the attack doesn't mean they're also very good on defense. And I think RMIT Purple said, anything you can do, we can do better, and also overextend for the attack.
Yeah, and now with the 3-goal lead once more, just over 2 minutes remaining in this one. Again, these are replays, so we don't get goal replays. It's just score the goal straight to the next field of play, point of play, the next engagement, whatever you would like to call it. Scuttled actually misses the ball. That's okay. Has a teammate behind to follow it up. However, Daxter played too much centered in the field, and the result is another defensive clear. Something we're noticing, I think, straight away from this UON side is just the speed that they're able to exploit any sort of gap in the positioning from the RMIT side. However, there's a little gap right there for the orange team, 4-2 game.
Yeah, and that wasn't even like there was a big flaw in defense. It was kind of a couple of people not being where they, like, not having maybe optimal, I guess, defense, and RMIT showing they can really sting those. So yeah, I liked it. It was good. It wasn't one of those just gimme kind of goals, and that's a good side from RMIT. I mean, maybe it seems a bit insulting to say that they didn't earn some of their goals, like even implying that. But realistically, there's been a few defensive flops both sides, and I like the attempt there from Brisky, but just didn't quite come to everything. Everyone's kind of showing their style in this game. I think both teams know that the full playoffs implications aren't there, but they're bringing their best. It's just they're making it exciting as well. And I'm a fan. I'm not against that.
No, it's definitely been good fun to watch for sure. I mean, considering earlier today I had to sit through some North American Rocket League, which is very different stylistically than what you get in OCE. I mean, I don't know what it is, particularly at, like, the collegiate level, which is what I was doing over there. Very team play focused and oriented, a lot of passing plays. And what's unique about it is then when someone goes for an air dribble or like a flip reset or double touch, they actually don't know how to defend it. They're so accustomed to sort of team passes and the likes of that, as we see sort of a pass for a goal right there, that they don't know how to defend against the mech style. So when a player comes in and just mechs all over the place, no one can stop them.
That's so good. I love that. That's like almost the Oceanic thing as well, where it's like, hey, this is kind of being like this is less of an optimal play, I guess. You know, in implied air quotes, because you can't see me right at the moment. But that like doing something so over the top, aggressive, and like mechanically intensive, and then just having everyone be like, "What the hell was that?" and kind of just winning off it. I feel like that's like a consistent thing. You know, we've seen it in CS:GO as. All right, UON pick up another one. We've seen it in like CS:GO and some of the majors, just Australian players popping up and just getting like really disgusting one taps and things, and like even League of Legends occasionally have a player pop off. So like, yeah, I think that's so oceanic. I think that's so cool to have that as a style. But UON Boomers sort of ended up 6-2 in that one. They take the first game pretty decisively. I think that's possibly going to be a bit of a precursor for the rest of the series. But I do like the fact that RMIT Purple were actually able to sort of give a bit of a give a bit of a kind of contest in a few points there. And a few of those goals were actually just sort of RMIT overextending in awkward ways and not quite settling into the game and settling into the series yet. So I actually like their chances a lot more than I think I probably would have, you know, beginning of the series. So I'm keen to see how it evolves.
Yeah, I'm keen to see where we go from here as well. Hopefully to see more goals and more sort of pressure come from this RMIT side as we are kicking off this second game. 0-0 on the board, 5 minutes on the clock. Opening kickoff bounces around until actually being set up very nicely for the Boomers. Anti-Venom had to come up big for that save right there. Sorry, that was being set up for RMIT Purple. They were the team that almost got the quick one, and Brisky still hunting for it.
Yeah, that was absolutely great. I love that they're picking up on us on the attack. And, you know, if they don't let some of those silly defensive mistakes, I mean, really silly defensive mistakes happen, I think they could be all right here. It's going to be a very hard save. Comes out from the sky. Brisky just kind of pulls that one down, and Antiven's got to make it clear. And the pressure right now from RMIT Purple is a bit of a different team from the first game, especially that first half.
Yeah, there's a good opening minute thus far. Starting to have a bit of hope. And then comes the miss. There's the bump, and... well, Spoon is just going to watch that one roll in. They had a good start, and then I felt like the new Boomers just took that goal to the next level.
Yeah, that was kind of it. Spoon just got the bop at the last minute to be like, hey, my goal. You know, but that's definitely it. That's UON kind of making sure that RMIT respect the skill, and they go up 2-0 pretty quickly. Like, this is kind of what we expected. Like I say, maybe people might have been taking that a little, my previous statement as like a RMIT are in this. They got it, but I just like what I'm seeing, I guess, is like probably a better way to put it. I like the fact they're keeping the pressure on a little bit more. And to be fair, UON, even then, kind of playing a little bit more aggressively and a little bit more respectfully towards this team, which is nice. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, ever since, you know, they went for that one flip reset and it exploded in their face, they haven't gone for another one since. Funny that. I do feel that respect was actually earned in a sense, even though the final scoreline of Game 1 was a 6-2, and then if we go with the 2 goals here, it'd be an 8-2 advantage going over to the UON side. RMIT, they're not a bottom-tier team. Yes, they're mathematically eliminated, but they still had a winning record, and they can make plays happen like this. Brisky puts one through, and we're back within 1.
So that would be a nice one to have a little replay of, just a casual kind of like a casual look at that. I would have liked it, but at the end of the day, you're exactly right. You know, there was sort of 2 defensive errors, which otherwise it would have been like a 4-1 game possibly, and I guess that doesn't sound much better. But realistically, I think that score difference could have been quite a little bit less. A nice little save there, perfect kind of awareness on that one, just keeping it out very nicely. But that got a little bit awkward. No one able to connect on the defense there. So UON. That was kind of the kickoff tempo goal, right? Like, it's not quite a kickoff goal, but the tempo they got straight off that made it very hard for RMIT to kind of come back. And this might actually just be a kickoff goal, depending on how it goes. Yeah, UON just picking up the pace immediately, and RMIT not being able to sort of settle in and structure their defense that quickly. Yeah, that second one was the kickoff goal. I think that first one was the own goal, to be quite honest, as it was Scuttled who put it in. So, can you get an own goal kickoff goal? That's a question for you. What you can get, though, is a backboard read shot and through. Back within 2. The goals are coming fast and furious. Blink and you miss it. 6 goals already in the first half of game number 2. Nah, I'm pretty sure that promotion was a few seasons ago now, but, you know, I appreciate it. I appreciate the reference. We're into Lamborghini now, I think, right? Yeah, there we go. Sorry, that bit really didn't float, and so I was like,
nope.
Okay, I'll just keep moving on, and then I don't know, it really didn't go anywhere.
What show are you referencing? I actually don't know that one.
No, I'm sure that one year they did a Fast and the Furious car promotion in Rocket League.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Okay.
This is something we need clarification.
Okay,
in the chat, people.
what I don't understand is how come there's an NFL promotion happening when I guess the draft is going on, but like I don't know, it's off season.
Yeah, because the draft happens like closer to the end of the season than the start, right?
So no, it's happening now. Like it's the draft is starting.
I know it's now, but I have no sense of time.
Season doesn't start till September.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Oh
no! Oh, okay. There we go. That was a bit too exciting for a second there.
Yeah, we can't have that. Come on now, put the goal in. Crush the hopes and dreams of this orange side.
Oh my god. I mean, yeah, it's either that or the clutch save. We'll take either, right? I think that the epic last minute save sequence is still pretty good. But I'm trying to remember because I think you're right. I think the like a lot of hardcore fans get really into the draft, right? Because I know that that's like all the talk during the AFL draft here. So maybe there's something to do with that. Oh, that was a very nice setup from Scuttle to kind of pull through the defenders across as well.
I do think you're right. I do think you're right on that. Drafting is very important. I always would wonder what a Rocket League draft would be like. I don't know. Being the Green Bay Packer fan, draft day is always a day of immense disappointment as we fail to draft wide receivers. And this year was particularly bad. Well, last year was bad because we drafted a quarterback for no reason because we have the best one in the league. And then this year, before the draft even started, our best quarterback in the league starts talking about how he wants to get traded to a new team. So, yeah, draft day, not great for fans of Green Bay. Kind of like how this game, not going too great for RMIT right now. We can take a look at some of the stats actually just real quick right here. 5 shots to 13. The new Boomers have just been controlling the tempo.
Oh, absolutely. But that's such a good team. You know, that's like not surprising. We're kind of like, you know, if they end up with like at least a semifinals berth, I think everyone would be like, yeah, that's what I expected. I always hate like calling strength between groups, so I don't really want to make that call just yet, but like, yeah, I don't think anyone's hugely surprised that RMIT are running this game a bit. But, you know, it's good to see the fight from, UON. Oh, my God, I just got my okay.
Look,
confused.
I get what you're going at, and I do agree. This team's hard to place because I don't think they are a top 2 team. Like, I'll go group strength. I'll look to analyze that. I don't think they're a top 2 team. Top 4, I think, is a bit more reasonable. I mean, I have my eyes set on a different team, which we actually get to see later, as kind of my pick to win it all. Ball hits the ground. No big dramatic, hey, look at this, UON wins, because, well, A, there's one more game to be played, and 2, this is a replay, so I'm going to quickly set that up for you as we get to wave and say hi to the beautiful people.
Yeah, it's all right. For the end of the last game, I'll see if I've got some, like, party poppers or something like that around here. Whatever, they're, you know. And see if they're around, so I can, you know, absolutely destroy everyone's ear. Everyone, at least all the headphones users, you know. But yeah, we've got 1 game for UON Boomers to take the series, and 3 more for RMIT. So yeah, we'll have to see if there is a comeback coming from RMIT. But I think that was 6-2, and then another 6-2, and it's harder to defend the second one because you know, all the things we kind of said before, but, you know, there's another chance. There's plenty, you know, there was at least one more chance from RMIT Purple to kind of come back in through and for UON to prove that they are a top 2 team. Well, I guess they can't prove that, but to make their case, at least.
Yeah, let's see what they have, what they can bring in our third and potential final game of our opening series. Again, UON Boomers, if they get this, they do have an undefeated season. Bit of a feather in their cap as well. Typically in these events, there's always a couple teams that make it through the regular season undefeated, and then when they have those big best-of-7 playoff clashes, that's when things get really exciting. As I was mentioning before, though, look, I'll play spoiler, right? There's a team I think is the best team, Swinburne Black, kind of my pick. We get to see them play later tonight, actually, against Curtin. And this is Group A. The playoffs have kind of already been decided. Group C is where we're going to be going after Group A does wrap up, and we'll talk more about the playoff implications of those games when we get to it. However, there's a reason why I'm not showing the standings right now, because these games are going to be insane.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. It's going to be so exciting and so much of the stakes there. And it's always a bit rough doing replays because I'm never sure if you start to show the standings or not, and almost the big force coming in from UON. But I think we've seen this story before. 1 team, 3 players up an attack, ball goes off the backboard, and then it's in the other goal. But
it warms my heart to know that this happens on every region, though. Like, that isn't an OCE exclusive thing. That's just a Rocket League thing. You see that ball in front of the net, and you want to take it, put that goal in, and the next thing you know, we're going the other way. A new opportunity for RMIT as Daxter tries to play the backboard. Anti-Venom will find the read. It's a pass forward. Look, we've got a minute and a half, and there's only been 1 goal scored. This has been the lowest scoring game thus far.
Yeah, that's it. And again, the 1 goal was a pretty big slip up, so has been at least slower paced. But I believe, look, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see something big and something exciting. As we've got one player going up here whose name I didn't catch because I can never remember the cars. It goes off the backboard. Honestly, not as much. Anti-Venom. There we go. That's right, because it's got the... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, I do remember that one now. But another attempt off the backboard. Let's see. Can we pick this one up? Nope. Not yet. Almost forced. 3 defenders all just tackled out. But yeah, no goal.
So I always like to comment on the car's looks and style, and that's something that I just always take note of, especially when you're in replays where we don't have the name in the bottom corner. If you have a stylish car, guess what? It makes it easier to remember your name. Or if you have an incredibly ugly car like Anti-Venom. So it does go both ways.
Well, I'm glad you got to say it rather than me, but I think it's just the theming. It's like the Anti-Venom kind of like, it has that edge to it, but it's not like...
Yes, Venom is all about edge. I've seen that movie. It was the tamest edgy movie I've ever seen.
I haven't seen it. I was just thinking that name sounds kind of edgy. But it's not like hardcore edginess. So it's not like we've got spikes and stuff. We've just got that kind of like electric.
Are you familiar with the Venom comics though, like as the Spider-Man villain?
I know the character, and I know kind of vaguely what it does, but I couldn't give you like a detailed history,
Yeah. Look, if you haven't seen the movie, don't. Anyways, that was a nice goal in response off the kickoff. 2-1 scoreline right now. Daxter going to try and help, this RMIT side. They've got new signs of life. Only 1 goal down with 2 minutes left to play. Perhaps we can see, this series go to that game 4. Orange side on the attack. Scuttled goes up, tries to make the play off the roof. From underneath, there's no teammate. And that just means Spoon will find the clear up the field. The pass does get intercepted. Another shot attempt off the backboard, but Storm keeps it in the safety of the corner.
Yeah, it's alive for a little bit longer. And I mean, to be fair, something I hadn't kind of really put much emphasis on in this one is the fact that the scores are pretty close. And one good play there from you, from RMIT, I should say. I don't know why I'm getting these two teams so confused. But one big play from RMIT here. They've got 2 players. They've got the setup, and it could be some level of comeback. But, 1 minute 30 seconds is not a huge amount of time, especially if you won't find another goal.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for it right now. They're trying to get that set up in front of the net. Anti-Venom unable to put it in. A chance perhaps for Brisky. Not quite. Needs to leave it for the teammates. That's an open field in front of him. Anti-Venom somehow able to find the height to push it to the corner, and the shot from Scuttled is wide to the right as well. A couple key saves at that last moment. Does keep the score a 1-goal advantage for the team looking to go undefeated.
Yeah, this started getting much more tense than I was expecting from this 3rd game. And yeah, a couple of opportunities there for RMIT Purple. They might have had better execution on potentially, but and kind of knowing what they've got to do to like keep this undefeated spree alive for the entire season. And that's right now is going to be stopping this big play coming in. Scuttle tries to put the ball down. It was actually an unfortunate touch there, but a double whiff is going to keep the ball in the UON's attacking half.
Yeah, just under 30 seconds left in play. Starting to get a little bit desperate for the RMIT side. This is the closest they've been to taking a game to overtime, but the ball's on their side of the pitch. 17 seconds to make it happen, but Anti-Venom is going to shut down the hopes and dreams, finds the tight angle, and makes it a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, even a kickoff goal is not going to bring you back in. It's not going to bring you back in any sort of really meaningful way into this game. I mean, the attempt there was made, and I really, really appreciate that the gut's still there, and they're still kind of fighting for it, but with 5 seconds left with the ball in this half, I don't see RMIT Purple kind of taking this one. But like to the fight, as I think we say a fair bit, but UON, New Boomers, they're going to take it. I'm sorry, I didn't find that party popper in time.
Oh, that's okay. The game was over before you knew it, just like that series, as it is going to be UON getting that win at 3-0. And you know what? We are going to go cheeky look at the bracket groups. I believe this is how we get to standings. 1 sec, just because I want to show off some. Here we go. We go to the standings. We can just stay in Group A because this is the final standings of Group A, which we can now see. In fact, we can even take a look at Group B. It's Group C that we're not allowed to go down to.
Yep. Okay, I lost audio.
Okay, anyways, yeah. Group A, we can have a quick look. UN New Boomers, they finish 9-0. RMIT Purple, they will finish 5-4. Unable to get to the playoffs. UTS Esports will be the team joining the New Boomers out of Group A. Group B, we can even take a look at as well. RMIT Red finish 8-1, tied with UOW Esports Red. So these two squads as well have advanced, made it to that playoffs. But Group C, this is the confusing one. This is where things are going to get spicy. So please stay with us. We're going to throw to a quick break while we get set up for our next series between UCID Rocket Lorg taking on the QUT Ruskateers. Hello, everybody. Welcome back as we get ready for our next series. It's going to be UCID Rocket Lorg taking on Curtin in a game with pretty significant playoff implications going through in this one. UCID Rocket Lorg kind of are trying to put themselves in a spot where it is essentially win and in, but for Curtin, well, if they find a win right here, they're going to be needing a little bit of help in that next series from the Ruskateers as well in order to get themselves through. It's going to be a tight one. Obviously, a loss is quickly going to diminish any team's chances of getting through with that playoffs. And knowing this is on the line, I have to expect a closer series than what we saw in our first replay.
Yeah, you got to think so. It is not a matter of, if they win and they're sorry. I have to make sure I take a sec to really think about this one. For the Ruskateers, it's not it's not quite that simple, right? There's a few other things going on. I think there is the potential to force a tiebreaker. I'm really worried they got my teams around the wrong way again.
I got the teams wrong, actually. I need to do some quick fixing because I put Curtin when it's going to be, as you said, the QT Ruskateers. I don't know how I managed to do that. So I'm just going to quickly fix this up live on stream. You guys can all watch while
this happens.
Yeah,
this is the thing. We've got to manage you have to do all the work. I don't know why I was trying to take credit for it, but you have to manage all of the all of that sort of stuff, all of the actually complicated stream stuff and the replays, making sure everything's set up properly. And sometimes the teams like to change sides between games to get them to replay and things like that. So a lot to manage on that side. You've got playing producer and host and caster, so there's a lot going on. And if anyone's flaming you in chat, I'll fight them.
That's okay. I welcome the flame. I think it's fun. Look, I'm just excited for that next series. I want to see QUT play. I have a little bit of a soft spot for QUT as trying to figure out which logo they would want to use right now. Oh, I get to choose. We'll just go for the old Esports logo for them. There we go. Actually, not sure what logo they would want to use. To be honest, I'm not even sure QUT would want to use a logo. If we were to ask the players, they might be like, you know what? Nah, let's go brandless coming into this. As we're going to quickly bring up the UCID lineup. Where are they out of all these teams? There's the Milk Guzzlers. There's Rocket Lorg. Yeah, Eki, Ben the Nut, Negative, and Cecilio on this side. They are a very strong team.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. We've already seen a couple of their games on stream in the last couple of weeks, and yeah, they look strong, right? That's the thing. They are a very, very dominant team, and they will, they kind of have. I think if we want to reset those stakes, because with the right teams and everything, it is a very important game for play-ins, and I think Rokt not making it would be a bit of a surprise. But QT up against it a little bit there.
Yeah, QT, of course, Lodzi, Souths, Kaiser, and Nacho are going to be the teams looking to sort of upset them. And, well, you can see their logo here. Didn't have that sent to me. Neither of those team logos were really sent to me. I mean, I remember this Rocket Lorg logo. I mean, they have been around this UCID side. Either way, though, I think it's time we get to the action. We've done enough fluffing about, so let's go to that pitch. Rocket Lorg versus the Ruskateers, and we are kicking this bad boy off.
Yeah, and there we go. A bit of style already straight on the camera in terms of the cars. And Heki with a very strong statement to lead here. I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, actually, this team went 2v3 last week, I think.
Oh.
And it was very big, but I might be wrong on that one. So we'll have to exactly see. And there it is, an immediate opening for Rocket Lorg. Yeah, that was it. It was, I think Sai and Eki just went solo 2v3, and the series was pretty well over even from that point. It was so dominant, even with that one player disadvantage. So I think that this hopefully will be a closer series. But oh god, Rokt Lorg, I should say, are just pulling it apart.
Yeah, so here's the scary thing, because you're talking about how Sai and Eki were able to win a 2v3 and be in control. I would argue Negative is actually the best player then on this team. Negative, of course, plays at the top level. You'll see him, bouncing about in some of the RLCS events. Was a part of Hazard, I believe, when they made their run, getting a top 8 during the fall major. Granted, that was a little while ago. The point is, this is a player who has played at the tippy top in Oceanic Rocket League, and if the team is winning without him, just think about how strong they are with him.
Oh god, yeah. Did we called that this one would be a higher intensity game? And to be fair, I think it is here. Like QT trying to step up, trying to make their moves a little bit. QT haven't, they kind of held the throne of the AEL for a little while. It has been a bit since they've managed to kind of get back to those heights. Of course, that is because some of the players leaving, which we've talked about before on air. But Lorg right now, you Sid are just, yeah. You can see it. You got the score above you. You don't even need me to say it. This has been 1 minute and 10 seconds of gameplay.
Mm-hmm. And it's just been a bit of a one-sided affair. The thing is, too, like, when obviously we talk about players, coming into events like this, and it's like, oh, this player has that professional experience. They've played in majors. You have to remember as well, this is going to be a recurring theme, I think, with a lot of our top teams, especially as we are getting towards the playoffs. There are pro players scattered about. I mean, you can only look at last year's, champions for both seasons with that Uni Melbourne side that had, the likes of Caveman Ben, who won that fall major that we're talking about negative participating in, with Riv as well on that side, another frequent top eighter. Like, we are used to seeing top 8 members. I mean, even the Griffith side from last year as well had players like Baked Potato, who went on to get, a top 6 finish, I think, in the winter major, the most recent one with Team Process. Like, you never know where that next big star is going to come from, and we do see a lot of crossover between the players in this event and the RLCSX.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's, like, we talk about it so much, the ability to kind of, play against and really get a proper contest against some of these players is what's so great about the University League. Because, anyone, if you are a university student right now and you have, you think you can pull together 3 people from your team, you can register for the AEL University League, of course. This season, it's a little bit late. We're almost to playoffs. But next season will be coming up very shortly. We do have 2 seasons per year. And I thought that was an own goal, but I didn't quite see if there was a connection before the last one. I think it was a bit of an awkward defensive touch. But hey, QT have got themselves the board finally.
Yeah, QT is going to be happy with this as we see a pass over to Eski. Not quite going to find the goal right there. Cosmo able to make the save from the net as we're seeing another peltering of the goal. Not going to get it in this opening attempt. You said Rocket Lord looking to rotate back. Lodsy tries to get around it, unable to get that touch in front of the goal. Another attempt, though, pass back to Lodsy, who once more won't be able to find it. Something I'm noticing about Lodsy, though, I don't think I've seen that skin in match. That is a beautiful looking car.
Oh, yeah, I think we got a bit of a close-up on it, just like a couple of frames, and oh my god.
Oh, the triple commit wasn't enough. They needed a 4th car, maybe even a 5th in order to stop that one. 6-1 lead, and we are on the precipice of a Brazil.
Yeah, we're looking like that might be a possibility. Maybe that's it. Maybe they were coming out of the gates being like, all right, this is how we make a statement. It's not just about, like, aerial plays. Every team's got their thing they do, although it seems like they're pretty happy to make those big, stylish mechanical plays. But no, we got to get the meme score line. And, oh, that was a lovely little flick out of the way.
There it is.
On the defender. But, yeah, there it is. Can they hold this exact scoreline for 1 minute 30 seconds, though?
With the way how the goals are coming seemingly at ease, I kind of doubt it. I feel like unless they willingly want to keep it a 7-1 scoreline, I don't think we're going to see this one be that final mark. As looking to push forward once again, you said Rock Lorg, find the pass over the middle, have Sai up top, doesn't make contact with the ball, but that's okay. It looks like they have time to try to set things up. Cosmo does go over the top of the next attacker, and perhaps we go the other way. Ruskateers with a chance, unable to put it in as negative just does just enough in front of the net.
Yeah, little flick, little jink. I love the little jinks. I think they're very cute. But does exactly as you say, manage to pull the ball just away, and this actually might be it. Negative says, "Be damned with the memes." This shot, like this little kind of team play, is too good to pass up. And now we have an 8-1 scoreline, and we might hit double digits the way this game's going.
Ooh, I would love to see that. Talk about making a statement. Again, we're in that situation. There is playoff implications for each of these teams. You said they want to secure at least that number 2 seed with the win right here. They will be rooting for Curtin in that next game then if they do come out on top, because, well, that will put them tied with Swinburne Black, the one team that has qualified out of these 4 in Group C. Sort of, we're fighting for that second place, or at least the best chance for it. Granted, even if we do see USID Rocket Lord win this, I believe it is the situation where if Curtin wins their series against Swinburne Black, they're actually able to tie it up as well, and then we kind of go into that two-way tie situation. It's a bit of a confusing one. The ball hits the ground before it goes into the net, though, Fetch, and that does mean 8-1 is our final scoreline.
Yeah, look, difference between 8-1, 9-1. I don't think either of these teams are going to be too concerned about that. Maybe there's a slight mental boost from being like, well, at least they didn't score on us again. But yeah, that's very little in the way, I think, of I don't know. I lost where I was going with that one halfway through. But at the end of the day, the important thing is USID have been successful in that first. Where's my brain at the moment? I apologize. I'm gonna take a sec.
Yeah, it's all good. It's a replay. Yeah, we're watching games that have already happened. That was just an 8-1 scoreline. Those are the ones that can melt your brain, and just imagine what the players are going to be going through after that. However, QUT Ruskateers, they seemingly bounce back well here in game number 2, off to a pretty fast initial attack, unable to keep it sustained before they start rotating back. A fast pace as neither team looking to slow things down. In fact, getting more aggressive is the Rocket Lorg side. Nearly opens up the middle of the field. Negative able to shut it down. Eki, no one to pass it to. Negative has to go across the pitch. Sets off the backboard. Eki is there. It's a delicate touch. And just over to the top of Cosmo and in a 1-0 lead for USID.
There it is. There's that 1-0 lead, and I mean, it did take a little bit longer to get this goal. Remember, I don't remember exactly what the scoreline was like at course of 4 minutes and 20 seconds, but pretty well. I think there'd been like 3 goals, something like that. So Rocket Lorg kind of slowing down a little bit. QT stepping up just a touch, but little defensive touches like that are probably not ideal for them, and they might just open up another goal. Oh, it's off the post. There we are. There's that 4th car. May not be a car, but it's doing its best.
I would love it if, again, this is a pipe dream situation, but if teams could find a way to get like home field advantages, Lodzi, so much space to work with, only needs to drive that one straight. We have ourselves a tie ball game.
Yeah, and this is actually really, really interesting here. I mean, yeah, I just kind of wasn't ready for that. I wasn't expecting that. Negative tries to turn the play around immediately, but a good defensive play passed out wide as well. And actually a potential for another run from QUT here. A bit of time for the defenders to kind of get set up. Negative just gets a good touch on that one, but the attack is not done yet. As Eki just kind of passes it back. We got a bit of a change around on who was on attack and who was on defense, but a demo puts that one back to rest. And we're actually seeing a proper back and forth here as we set a lovely stylish car kind of try and do a bit more work.
That was a good pinch as well, taking it all the way across the field. The shot will be stopped by Lodzi as we will play in the corner once more. Negative, again peppering that backboard. Ooh, swing and a miss from our first attacker, but not quite the second. It looks as if they're getting bunched up. Cosmo actually bumping his teammate out of the way, saying, no, I want to take the ball. And, well, he'll take it straight into Negative. Side now tries to find the pass across the middle, beats out 2 defenders. Negative in position, but couldn't drain the shot. A missed opportunity right there to take the lead.
Yeah, and they almost turned it around. Not quite. Side just gets a catch on that. Oh, boy. This is getting kind of close. Another opportunity, but this time it's Negative here. And it really is Rocket Lorg's defense being tested, but they do get a shot around. That touch could be about perfect. It comes to the crossbar. Is there anyone to pick it up? Not quite. Actually, never mind. There's Eki. Another crossbar play. This absolutely is that extra player for the side of QUT as they put across formal. How did this game get so intense?
Yeah, this is a great turnaround we're seeing out the team that just went down 8-1 in our first match, looking to bring it to them, keeping those playoff hopes alive. You get that feeling, though, they need to win this game. Going down 2-0 in a do-or-die series sometimes can be that death blow. That said, on the opposite side, USID Rocket Lorg, they're doing their best to try and end this one now. They're thinking playoffs as well. They want that goal. They're not going to find it just yet. As we go across the pitch, a chance for Sai to maybe find Eki. Instead, finds the South's defense. Ball base held in the corner. 90 seconds remaining. That angle from Negative almost was enough to put it inside with the fall through. Can't get it in the center of the no goal.
Yeah, okay, I like this from QUT. The adaptation, they're stepping up. They're kind of meeting the challenge a little bit still a little bit awkward on the defense. And in terms of a little bit scared, I guess maybe is the right way to put it. Fair enough, gets Rocket Lorg. Negative goes up, tries to get the double touch to connect, but again, doesn't quite work out. But there it is. I'm pretty sure that's Eki coming in with a follow through, and it is now 2-1. given how hard it was for Lorg to force a goal, this is not a great situation for them, but definitely an opportunity, especially with a situation like that. No! But that was a miss, right? Just a
That
clean
was a
whiff on the
miss.
shot. That's unfortunate.
But that was a miss as well. That net was open, and it doesn't go in. All right. You know, 2 open net misses. It happens. Final minute of play. 1 goal difference between these 2 teams. 1 goal needed, I feel, for the QUT to stay with a reasonable chance. Obviously, they're not eliminated if they lose this, but that reverse sweep would have to be something of a low-grade miracle. Negative, putting one up for his team. They follow it through with a shot. Cosmo comes up clutch on the save right there.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, QUT, they've still got time. They've got 30 seconds balls in their attacking half. They got the players to catch this in the midfield potentially. But Sai, I think, actually just got the knock away on that player. Kind of an interesting situation for that extra pushed up attacker. They're now setting up this play quite nicely. Gets 2 taps off the back, but it doesn't actually go into the net. So, you know, at this point, they're kind of okay with that, right? They're kind of okay with this offensive position. They're just locking out QUT from kind of getting any sort of opening, but there's still 5 seconds left. Remember, the ball still stays in play until it hits the ground. A very soft touch off the tires. I tried to set up for Sai, and it would have been another one, but the timer has ticked down, and that feels like that's a second time that's happened for Lorg. I might have been getting my series confused, but I feel like that's 2 in a row, right?
Yeah, that is 2 in a row as we take a look at some of the stats at the end of this game, just to bring it up. 16 shots to 7. You said it might have been a close scoreline, but realistically, they did control that tempo a lot more. Credit where credit is due to the QUT side. They were trying to fight and bring it back, but just wasn't meant to be. I feel like USID's still playing at another level, and as we get ready to go into our 3rd series, I do kind of expect more of the same.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I don't know what to expect in terms of scorelines now, but like how do you predict that? But I mean, you know, it should hopefully be an interesting one. That's kind of the bottom line for me. I hope that it's going to be an interesting and exciting game.
Well, I hope that's going to be the case as well, because we are kicking it off. It is game number 3 in this best of 3. USID looking to put themselves in that best chance to get into the playoffs. QUT trying to stay alive. A attempt at a flip reset to start off this 3rd game doesn't quite come through, but there'll still be more opportunities yet. Ball in the air. Eski tries to find Sai underneath, who lobs it up back to Eki. Cosmo gets there first. A little dunk, but no distance behind it. Swinging a miss from Negative. Only Sai back on defense right now. Cosmo as well cannot make the read.
Oh yeah, that's their name when they break into the international leagues. It's gonna have to change to Eski. Eki actually almost found a shot there, but a really good guard from my stream's a little low res, so I can't see the player names. But very well done to you. I'm sure I'll be able to catch the replay and have a look at who that is again. But yeah, I like the fact that QUT indexing, even though they're indexing heavily towards defense, they are coming up with something. Eki tries to go up to contest that one. And actually, that might be a goal straight off the bat. Fantastic work. Again, I couldn't see the exact player. Was that
I didn't really see who it was. Cosmo.
I'm pretty sure it was Cosmo. I thought I saw the C at the beginning of the name, so I was like, I think that's Cosmo, but I don't want to say because I couldn't make up the full words. But fantastic work from Cosmo to get, I think, a save straight into that like crossfield goal. Like that's great stuff, and QUT gonna feel happy with this start.
Yeah, QUT I think is gonna be very happy with that. They need this win, as we mentioned before. Still sort of peltering that back wall right now. Souths with a chance to play through the corner. Has Cosmo behind him. Drops it back to the middle where Lodzi not quite in the perfect spot to recollect that. Ball kind of being held up in the air. Here comes Sai and Negative. It's an awkward double commit. Ball gets to the backboard, but now a chance to go back the other way once again. 2 defenders in place. Ball off the backboard. Double commit on the shot, and no one can make contact with the ball.
Yeah, it's but someone, I think, changed the ball physics a little bit in this one. Seen a few unfortunate whiffs, but oh no, another open goal! 2-0 for QUT. I said I didn't know what to expect from this game, and this is why. What on earth?
I hate it.
Oh my god. This is the thing I probably expected the least, though, I think.
Yeah, I expected that as well. You know, 4 people whiffing the ball completely, and then, all right, well, that was just a, you know, cheeky little infield pass, catch, shot, goal, back to 2-1. Well, that 2-0 lead didn't last too long, I suppose. Either way, I need to see some cleaner play because this game has gotten so sloppy so quickly.
Yeah, it kind of has, huh? Which is kind of unfortunate because if QT is like, oh, everyone's messing up now. This is our wheelhouse. That's not a great thing to feel. But, I mean, hey, they're still in the lead. I'm sure they won't be unhappy with it. Eki possibly with a really, really good setup there as it passes off to Sai. See, these names you can tell by the Sai, so that's a little bit more handy. Sai with an opportunity here. They're going to try to drop it down right on the crossbar. Doesn't quite make it. Actually, might have been Eki. All right, I did get confused. Turns out. Negative tries to put the ball back, but I think one of our Rokt players has gone rogue here.
Yeah, they are going for it. Ball bouncing around. Play through that corner right now as Negative tries to set things up. Lodzi already in position to shut it down. Next shot as well. Disrupted by this defense. That will lead to a shot from midfield. A missile that hits its mark. Lodzi could do nothing to save that.
And we're just immediately back to a tied scoreline. You know, even if it looked, relatively speaking, good for QUT, it's still a tied game. You know, QUT now essentially have an even game, but this time it's 2 minutes timer on it. Cosmo may have actually done some fantastic work there. Didn't quite see that defender. He managed to pull a great save out there. And now it's going to be back to the Rokt attack. And they've had some great opportunities. That was such a good change up in that. I mean, we only cut to the shot just before, and we won't get a chance to see a replay. But I believe that shot just got on the tires, kind of like almost a half fake, just to make sure the ball dropped at a really awkward angle for that defender. Fantastic stuff by Rokt.
Yeah, and that's the lead actually given up as well. QUT Ruskateers, they had a 2-goal advantage to start this game off, and it has slipped through their fingers, just like their playoff chances seem to be slipping up now. 90 seconds remaining, a goal still needed to possibly take this one to overtime. However, they are still on that defense as Eki finds the redirect off the waterfall. The game continues to spiral out of control.
And Rokt just kind of found their footing a little bit. I mean, I know they've had their footing for pretty much this entire series, but it seemed like they'd lost and slipped up a little bit. Almost another one there, but the defender just kind of coming to pull that one aside. And yeah, I mean, Rokt looked back to what they how they kind of played in that first game especially, but also kind of that game too.
Yeah, it is. They're refining themselves at this stage. Pass across the middle of the pitch will be collected by Sai, who will lob one up over to Eki. No contact made. Follow through from Sai, looking to pass it back over to Negative, who does put another shot in. 3-goal lead. I hate to say it, Fetch, but I kind of feel like that might do it for the side of QUT.
Yeah, it was an even game at 2 minutes. Now that we've got 1 minute left, it's now a 3-goal deficit. That's Rokt. I was expecting that one to go in. A good save, a very angry save from QUT. Just from the camera angle, but it looked very, very intense. They're still keeping it going. They're still trying to find at least one more goal in this series, keeping the ball out, trying to keep the scoreline as favorable as they can, but a bit of an opportunity here. Nope. Never mind. One more defender. And yeah, 30 seconds left. I don't really think that there's much which QUT can do here in order to keep their playoffs hopes alive.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. It's just there's not much left in the tank, I feel. 20 seconds to go. We're just counting down the time until this one is done. USID Rocket Lorg with this win. They're looking like they are in a position to possibly get themselves through. I do believe, thinking back, there is still a chance for Curtin. They're going to need to beat the likes of Swinburne Black, though, to get themselves tied, I believe, with Rocket Lorg. Rocket Lorg, however, they kind of, which one would you rather? Like, do you want the 3-way tie for the number 1 seed, Fetch? Or do you want Swinburne Black to beat Curtin and just secure yourself in the playoffs in that number 2 spot?
I personally, you've seen that you can beat the Ruskateers, right? You've shown that, you've demonstrated it. I say go for the top spot. I think right now, Rokt are sitting back saying, all right, pouring themselves a drink for in celebration of this, but also in support of Curtin. That's my take on it. Maybe just because I'm a caster and I like seeing really exciting tiebreakers, but that's how I want to see this. It's got to happen in our next game, though. Yeah. So our next series.
It's going to be a big one. Swinburne Black looking to go undefeated, secure that number 1 seed. Curtin looking for a win and to force the 3-way tie where anything can happen. That's going to be our next series starting in roughly about 6 minutes or so. So stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is time for some AUEL. That's Australian University Esports League. It is the Rocket League, and it is possibly our final game being streamed from the regular season. And what a banger it is. Two teams fighting for playoffs to secure that spot in the top 8. Swinburne Black, they want that #1 seed. They want to be undefeated, but taking them on is a Curtin side that we cannot overlook.
That is exactly it. We talked a little bit in some of our streams last week about going undefeated, the risks therein. But yes, that is exactly it. We had in the last game sort of a taste of how this group is looking so far. Taste kind of pretty close to a final taste, but nonetheless, yeah, Swinburne Black love to keep this undefeated. If they can't close this series against Curtin, we have a 3-way tie for first place, including the team who we just saw win in our last series, UCID Rokt.
Yeah, as we take a look at the Swinburne back lineup, the reason why I consider this to be the best team, you can sort of mix and match any of these 5 players, and you're going to get, you know, a superstar squad. Lethal, Zuko, and Scout, I would argue, would probably be the best trio, but Flux as well as J-Brad, I mean, these are no slouches either. They are highly ranked in the OCE 6-man servers. They will frequently play in, you know, higher level tournaments. This is a superstar squad. And as I said, I mean, they're going undefeated in what has been one of the tougher groups. And when I bring up this Curtin lineup of Rain, Heptix, and the Pyro, I mean, you see names like Rain, he's constantly, you know, subbing for top 8, top 12 teams. You would expect them to be that top level and advancing as well, but they're in a position where if they lose this series, they're knocked out.
Yeah, that's it, and that'll give us our top 2 from this group, but I think it makes for an exciting series. We've left this one to last for a reason, and I'm really excited to see exactly how it plays out. Of course, Swinburne Black still being the favorites, but I'll be interested to see how kind of Curtin, if they can actually make a big upset in this series, because that's what we love in the Uni League. Any kind of underdog story, even if you know it's not bottom versus top of the ladder. Yeah, that's what we're going to be looking to see as we're going to kick this one off. Of course, we went to what looks to be, is this Champions Field? Well, I believe it is. Why not? From the battle of these two teams, we can see the lineup that was actually selected by our Swinburne Black side was Flux, Scout, and Zuko. Expect Zuko to be more of the big-time player in this team, even though he tends to sort of specialize a bit more in playing from a third-man role and looking for big individual clears up the side lanes. He is one of the best in the region at it. We'll see if we see adjustments coming from the side of Curtin to try and avoid playing to their strengths. Yeah, and that is what a lot of these series come down to. It's good when you don't have two, like one team who just completely out muscles the other, because you then do get to see these teams try and play to their own personal style. And you know, it is actually a lead off from Swinburne Black, so that they kind of had a pretty strong hold in the attack. Not quite as much as we saw in our last series, but it never really looked like they were going to falter too much there. Curtin trying to get up, set up some sort of counterattack. It's going to have to be a passing play. Comes with backboard. Don't think that third play is there just yet. And right now, Swinburne, they're kind of back straight on the aggression. That one first goal is very, very nice, but they still have to do the work to kind of close this game out. And you're already seeing it's quite a high level of Rocket League given what we've seen throughout the season. It's very mech heavy though. Like the pace isn't incredibly fast. They're relying on just more ball and car control as we see it put into effect right there. Zuko going to get credit for that second goal of the game. Now a 2-0 lead for the favorites in Swinburne Black as they have to add a third. Unfortunately, that shot's just going to bounce off the post. Yeah, not quite, but they still have opportunities. Good sort of clear and start out there. A demo to kind of buy us a bit more time. There were 2 players very heavily committed up there for Swinburne Black, and the Pyro trying to make something happen there. Like you say, going for those bigger plays, those bigger individual plays specifically, but not quite getting too much more off. They managed to be able to keep the possession of the ball quite nicely as Zuko is trying to clear that one out and play a bit of a defensive nuisance. But again, that's just the inability for Curtin to kind of hold on to the attack here. Ooh, Flux. That was a very close attempt. Yeah, he was going for the reset, it looked like, straight down the middle, unable to put it through. Bit of confidence perhaps coming from this orange side. That said, that reset would have been needed in order to get the goal. As we do watch a play through the corner right now. Oh, Flux cutting off the teammate. That does lead to an awkward play. Scout has to work in from third man as the Pyro is going to try to punish, dropping it into the box. Do we see the shot? Not quite, as it's pushed to the safety of the side. Yeah, it seems like Curtin not quite super confident on the attack either. That shot was a little bit of an awkward angle. Thought for a sec we might have it, but there's been a couple of times right here where Curtin has gotten close to the offensive line as they managed to again. The Pyro sets up quite nicely, and that's what we wanted to see from them. But they get across the line, they get into that attacking half, they're able to like get the ball in the right spot, but they just kind of lose confidence a little bit in their play, and it kind of slows down a little bit. You know, hopefully that momentum is that one from that goal is going to be a big help as Swinburne really trying to establish this attack.
Yeah, they're trying to put themselves ahead. Whoa, going for a late little musty right there, it looked like. Haven't seen many musties in a good long while. I feel like a lot of players have been kind of shying away from them in recent times, opting more for the reset to get the power as opposed to the musty. Just something I've noticed, and I'm a little surprised what has caused this change because I always thought the musty was sort of an easier shot to pull off.
Yeah, but people always like, I think it's one of those things where these movements kind of come in waves, right? Like there's like a level of fashion, then this one's getting a bit awkward. It's going to be dropped right in front. But Flux can't quite put that one away as now we've got a counterattack coming quite quickly from Curtin. They didn't quite find that coordination, so Scout should be able to clear it out. And yeah, just again, the second Swinburne get a clear, they're straight back on the attack. That aggression is really, really nice, but they've not cost them too much in defense, which is that key kind of two-hit component of a good structured attack. This might be a bit risky, but it's all right. It's all right for now as Pyro sets up another one.
Yeah, Pyro tries to get that one through. Instead, the ball winds up going back that other way. Scout will dribble it around one. Now looking for that setup through the backboard. Rain will hold that corner. Zuko looking to get a little bumpy, a little grindy with Rain, but won't get too much on the tail end of it all. It's just a one-goal difference between these two teams as we hit our final minute. And compared to our past two series, this one has been the most controlled, the most traditional looking right now, as not a lot of mistakes, a lot of solid defense, and very few scoring opportunities.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Some good and some good like kind of takes on those opportunities. I still think the Curtin could be a bit more aggressive early, but now they've lifted. They have absolutely lifted. You know, they still need to score that one more goal. It's 44 seconds, so it's not going to be easy for them. And there's a demo on that goalkeeper. They tried to go for a bit of a pinch there, I think, but it didn't quite work out. Scout tries to carry it through, and you know, still pressure on from Swinburne. This is all they have to do to close out this this first game. But, you know, Curtin needs one goal back.
Yeah, Curtin so desperate to try and find this goal. They're going to have to fight for it, though. 23 seconds remaining. Rain looks for the bump on Zuko, misses it completely. That backboard is open. The demo is there, and this game gets put away. That's going to be the 3-1 lead going over to our friends in Swinburne Black.
Yeah, absolutely don't forget how close it was with, you know, 20 seconds to go. I think that's something I would ask about of our fans. Still another opportunity for Swinburne. They can get another one. Possibly even an opportunity for Curtin, but at the end of the day, like the stakes kind of for these goals don't matter too much, as the defenders have a bit of a swing at each other. But yeah, like I think that it was it's actually a very nice end for him. I appreciate this.
I love the boom.
This is so good. Boom is how my brain feels after that first game. Honestly, mind blowing. But seriously, I actually think that was a very very good first game for the series. And Curtin and Swinburne Black up to 20 seconds. That could have been any. It still kind of could have been anyone's game. Curtin just let the attack go a little bit from Swinburne Black. They get that extra goal, so it says it ends up being a 3-1. But Curtin were keeping the pressure on well that game, even if it wasn't as much.
Yeah, no, they definitely did a very good job in keeping this one competitive, and actually, I'm excited to see where we go from here. This series could be our first one to sort of break the cycle of sweeps. That's what we're hoping for, considering what's on the line. I'm a little bit surprised our last game series was so one-sided. This one has the potential to be a bit closer. We're going to go straight ahead, actually, into our second match, though, to see where this series does take us. Still in the orange side is Swinburne Black. In blue is Curtin. Down one game already. Can they push through? Can they find a way to tie this series up? They're on the attack initially, but there are just too many defenders in that corner.
Yeah, and as we said, huge props to Swinburne Black's defense so far. That has been a big thing for them. Curtin not finding the aggression to be able to break through that either, but yeah, like absolutely have the ability to make even just one game upset, but possibly pull this entire series away. It's not like it's that unrealistic. We could see that three-way tiebreaker, and it could be hard-earned as well. That's the thing. You know, sometimes teams get a bit complacent as they go through, but this one could be a fantastic look right now for Curtin. But Swinburne Black, they're putting on the mechanics. They're trying to make these flips happen. They just can't get the ball over the line. The angle was a little bit too tight.
As we do see a nice play across the middle, Flux will be forced to corner that. Scout trying to play defense, keeps the ball on the wall instead of going for the risky pass across the middle. It does pay some dividends, as it did force that blue side back temporarily. Curtin now, they're the ones who are bunched up in the corner. Fortunately, that first man does make the save. A pinch attempt. It was risky. It doesn't pay off. I like how Swinburne Black, though, keeps going for these shots. Like, every now and then, they're going to try something different and a bit more mechanical. They haven't really gotten it yet, but I have a feeling it's only a matter of time.
Surely it is, yeah. Like, if you keep kind of finding those, especially in the right timings, things like that, it can work for you. But again, I just don't think that, I'm sorry, I've said this a lot. I just don't think Curtin's aggression has been there. It just feels like they are a bit too afraid of that attack and a bit too afraid of trying stuff like that, making big commitments and things. And I guess that's good because you don't really get punished for rotations. At least didn't think so. Yeah, it goes across space. But you're right. The fact that Swinburne are keeping going for those, eventually one of those has to hit. Surely.
I wonder if it's a bit of a confidence issue. And I'm going to make things a little bit personal here for a moment. But I'm a big fan of Rain and Rain's stream. Very, very strong player. As I mentioned before, subs for some of the best, was a longtime member of, a few top-tier teams. I think Mako was one of the bigger ones. I could be getting teams confused, but my point is this is a player who has that skill to be one of, I think, your legitimate, grinders at that top level. But whenever I talk to him about it, he's always like, oh, no, I'm happy as the sub. I'm not really as good as everyone else. And there's times where I feel like that self-belief isn't quite there. Well, I hope it starts to grow with more goals like this. Granted, that was a bit of a gimme. Defensive misstep. Rain drives it through. I just want to see more confidence from this player in the future because I see a lot of potential in Rain. And if you ever want to see some good Rocket League, please, please, please check out this player's stream because I don't know. I feel like he has a lot of, potential in the scene in the Rocket League environment.
Yeah, and that, I think from the way that this game is kind of going, I'd understand. I can kind of see whether that opportunity for a second one, though. And I think, potentially getting a goal on the board can help lift that confidence. Be like, oh, I did it once, I can do it again. That was two players. Didn't see the pinch connected because it's a little off frame rate on my side. But Swinburne Black get a goal at least.
You know what this series is for me? This series is all the players that I wanted to pick up back during ODL, the Oceanic Draft League, that I wasn't able to because other people got them first. Like, I wanted to get Rain, I couldn't get Rain. I wanted Zuko, I couldn't get Zuko. I wanted to get Scout as well. Wound up missing out on Scout. These are all players who I missed out on, Fetch, and I'm seeing them perform right now, and it's just making me ponder even more what really could have been for Team Esper.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate, but at least you get to see them all playing and all, putting on a good series as well, which is exciting. Given that little bit of confidence boost potentially for Curtin, for Rain, for the entire squad. We could see an absolutely amazing series, like one of the best I think we've seen from Uni League, if this isn't already up there. That it's unfortunate that you missed out with your draft league, but I really do think this is going to be. I really do think at least you get to see them all kind of showing up and performing.
What's the sad thing about this matchup, though, again, is if Curtin is unable to find a win here in this match, not necessarily this game, they don't get to play in the playoffs, so we don't get any chance in a rematch. I mean, this is obviously looking like our best preview of what the playoff gameplay is going to be like. Again, a little bit slow. I think the playoffs will be a little bit faster paced than this one. Both these teams do like to slow the pace down and are going for a lot more mech more often than pass plays, as we can see the shot right there instead of the pass over to Pyro. However, when it comes to the consistency and the lack of really serious sort of mechanical missteps, that is where this shines. And of course, as I say it, Fetch, a big whiff on defense and a 2-1 lead going over to Swinburne.
Of course. And it would be tragic. You're absolutely right. It would be tragic not to see Curtin kind of make this playoffs, especially when you put in a group with Swinburne Black and you actually managed to take some pressure on them. Curtin almost found a quick one there. I like this aggression. This is fantastic. Heptix has put the ball in a really, really good spot. Is there a player to kind of push it forward? Didn't quite go in front of the goal. So really, it's Heptix kind of playing a 1v3 right now. And, maybe that does actually put a bit of a, put a bit of a dent in the confidence right there for Curtin because they have seen themselves kind of overextend once again. But here's a great opportunity. Oh, that attempt on the push on the little knock was so good, but it just didn't quite line up. The idea was there that time, though. And it's got a bit of an opening here. Ball just hits the ground. And at the end of the day, what could have been a solid overtime in a few situations there ends up just going the way of Swinburne.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking right now is, hold on, we're one game away from yet another sweep. Say it ain't so. I don't want 3 3-0s in a row. However, Swinburne, when the chips fall down, it came down to one unforced error in this game, and they weren't the team that made it. They are showing that consistency, and if they continue to do so, they could be cruising to that undefeated record.
Oh, absolutely. All the way through playoffs as well as through the regular season. That'd be absolutely huge. And I mean, right at the moment, they're making a very, very good case for it. I think this has been the standout group. And if you come out on top of that, you are feeling fantastic. But we are into our third game, possibly our final for the night, depending on how it goes. I mean, Curtin, they don't like the sound of that at all, and they're showing it with their gameplay. Forcing that double commit. Is there a punish coming through? Not quite yet, but yeah, like, given the standings of this group, it's been absolutely fantastic to see. Oh, they switched sides?
They switched sides.
Oh, I couldn't quite, because I can't see the names.
They switched sides. Okay, you keep trying to cast this game. I'm going to fix up the score, the teams up top.
All right, I'm lucky because I've got my little tags at the top, which I put in, Notepad just to remember. So it's easy for me. I just move those around, but yeah, I think we kind of wondered this might be the case, but I mean, again, the pressure still has been pretty even, at least. That's like one good thing. We don't know which side they're on, but they've both had a play at the ball, so that's good. As Flux actually attempting to make a big play here, but now Heptix has set this one up quite nicely, and this could be a big, big play here for who I believe is Curtin, and that is one goal, opening up this game very, very nicely and pushing for that comeback and to deny those 3 reverse sweeps in a row. Sorry, that 3 full sweeps in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a big way to start this round. Sorry, I'm not quite ready to join you in this one just yet. Yeah, no, I'm going as fast as I can.
That's right. You can take a sec to chill out. I just didn't want to I wanted to kind of open that pass potentially.
I could pause the replay, but I don't want to ruin the flow. Ooh, that was a near goal right there.
Yeah, no, I'm so into the game already. I'm a little bit cautious that I might call the teams wrong, but I think we're good now. I think we know where they all sit. Flux, nice first kind of hit on that play and managed to get a good pass off, but because that was kind of a 3-player passing play and no one was quite in position. Oh, never mind. There we go. Swinburne Black, I think, managed to find themselves the back of the net off that one. I didn't actually think the players were in quite the right position. I was a little bit worried they'd made a great series of passes to get up the field and then just had no one there in the attack, but it wasn't quite the case. Zuko's going to go for another one, comes off the side, and that means the Curtin have a chance at the clear and a chance to run up the field. It is tied right now, and is Curtin facing just complete elimination from this tournament, and they are defending like it. They are showing that their sort of playoffs run is on the line right here. Pass into the midfield, being picked up by a very ambiguously colored car. Absolutely feel like it would be. I feel like this is the one thing I think we should standardize for colors, but whatever. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Zuko passes it out wide, possibly gets a bit of a clear out, and Flux kind of carries that one.
Flux or Anti-Venom? Which car is uglier?
I can't see them well enough.
Okay.
Is this Flux on screen now?
This is Flux on screen now, yeah. Anti-Venom was from before.
Yeah, I remember Anti-Venom's, but Flux is worse. Flux is just it's not even like redeemable in my opinion. I'm sorry, Flux, but
it feels very 70s disco to me. I don't know. Either way, tie ball game. The teams are now correct, as I did even fix my typo. It is Curtin University, not Curtit University. So we are going to be good moving forward from here. And just in time with 2 minutes remaining, Curtin, they're 1 goal away perhaps from taking this to a Game 4. However, Swinburne Black, they're 1 goal away from putting themselves in that undefeated spot. Ball in front of the box right now. Rain's going to have to chase it through. Here comes the attack from Swinburne. Don't really make contact with the ball from above. Rain goes for the ground pitch. Doesn't find it. Flux throws it towards that backboard. Another opportunity for Swinburne, but there's no one there for the shot immediately as Zuko has to go to the corner. Yeah,
but I mean, the pressure's still on here for Swinburne. They're still kind of keeping a bit of an opening. They're not kind of letting the ball go into the defensive half until that happens, at least. And I thought that might have been on target. It just comes off the side as Zuko gets the time to jump up. Still a tied game with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go. And okay, Flux just really wanted to put that one away straight off the bat, and that's why we don't pass slowly across the goal, kids. But it doesn't matter because it just ends up in the opposite net.
But why was there an attacker there? I believe that was Rain who is just sitting in the box, just waiting for the ball to come to him, and it does. A chance to go even further ahead is stopped by Zuko. However, Curtin, they have the lead, just under a minute remaining. They might be able to take us to a game 4.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit like it. 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining, and that could be it right here. I mean, you know, they have got the ball up the right half. If they're able to kind of control this midfield, I would feel really great about their chances. Scout wants to clear it out a little bit, doesn't quite get an opportunity, and so, you know, the pressure, like I say, still on from Curtin right there. Scout gets a good attempt on the dribble. I think that was a flip reset to get the pass, but again, I didn't quite make it out. Now on with the Pyro, and this is a good opportunity for Curtin. I'm really liking this. They might have broken our series of reverse sweeps and given themselves an extra chance to go through to the playoffs, but it has to be held on, and they have a whole bunch of time to fight back.
Yeah, I mean, again, though, a reverse sweep is what's going to be needed, as well as a defensive effort right here. Flux's shot stopped by Heptix, and that probably was the one that will put them through game 3. Ball hits the ground, 2-1 victory for the side of Curtin. We are going to a game number 4.
That's it. We have our first game 4 of the afternoon. Of course, these are games on catch-up and things like that, so they have been played live. That's why we don't get the replays. That's why we don't get you know, a few of those sort of things. We don't get the big celebration at the end. But this is starting to shape up to be a really, really exciting series. There is still a lot of work for Curtin to do, though. Also, we might want to check to make sure that they haven't swapped sides again.
No, they actually didn't. They sticked with the swap. Well, they sticked with the swap. You know what I mean. Swinburne Black saying I'm blue is what I'm getting.
They maintained their inconsistency. Yeah. I'm with you. All right, so that means we are good to jump straight back in then, and it's game 4. 2-1 right now for Swinburne. Curtin, a potential to kind of pull this series back, force that 3-way tiebreaker, because even if they win this series, its work is still not done then.
Yeah, I wonder what prompted them to sort of switch sides midway through this series. I'm always curious why that happens in these games, because typically it's just, you know, like ready up, go again, right? No need to sort of switch things around. Rain! All right, having a little bit of fun with that. Goes for the solo play, a bit of a turtle goal, and it's a 1-0 lead for Curtin.
Yeah, there it is. All right, they got the lead in the last game. They managed to pull it through here. Might be another one, actually, if they can kind of find this pace a little bit more. Ball goes straight up in the air, and actually the two attackers sort of take each other out a little bit there with a bit of a nudge, so it's going to be the play over to Swinburne. Oh, that might have been a big whiff, but it's okay. Still the players on the post, and bit of clearance out from Curtin, but my God, Curtin are looking like they really, really want this comeback, and of course they do, but they're looking like it could happen as well, and that's the big difference. Zuko wants to set up this attack, but didn't really have the pass set up for anyone. Managed to get a pass back to themselves and just manage it.
That was a very technical goal right there, just drilled high and out of reach from the defense. 1-1 game, still under a minute into this game number 4. I like the start out of this orange side of Curtin. However, now they're starting to fall a bit behind. It definitely feels like Curtin is so much more comfortable on the attack than when they're on defense.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting in this situation, because it's not necessarily what we saw earlier on, but the fact they have found themselves there has been absolutely fantastic. Zuko, quite a close setup there, had some danger potentially being threatened, but wasn't able to put that one through. Still back on the possession. Actually, a good contest. I think that 50-50 might have gone the way of Curtin. A very fantastic job of that one. Swinburne have managed to pull that back, but I just didn't think you were ever going to take that if you are a Curtin fan. So we'll kind of Swinburne Black putting the back foot just a little bit here is actually an opportunity for Curtin if they can get in front of goal.
As Zuko will bounce it off the ceiling. Rain tries to find Heptix in the corner, unable to connect. Ball will bounce around middle of the pitch. A chance for Zuko, perhaps also look for Flux down the field. Swing and a miss from the attacker, and we go the other way, keeping the pace slow once again. That has been the MO of this Curtin team. Keep the gameplay slow, try to rely on these solo plays, and while they've worked at times, now it's working against them. Scout with the chance for the dunk, doesn't quite find the angle.
Yeah, not quite. Possibly another opportunity coming through here, though. The ball just hit straight on target after that first shot off the backboard. And there it is, that quick turnaround. Now Swinburne Black, they have control of this game, and don't forget how important this game is. Swinburne Black, they take the first seed if they take this game. You know, Curtin, they're out if they lose it, so this is so important. They're back on the attack, they're not letting anything, this is Curtin, sorry, it's back on the attack, they're not letting anything go.
Yeah, as we see, a little reset attempt from Scout. Just edges it towards that net. Ball in front of the goal and nearly an own goal situation. Curtin hanging on by the skin of their teeth. I feel like if that goal goes in, they lose this series. They lose their playoff chances, somehow staying alive. They now need to take it back that other way, which Heptix is able to do so straight over the top of Flux, but not past that second defender. Ball thrown back towards the middle, and they're going to be chasing it up themselves. Finally, Flux able to push forward, looks for the demo, doesn't find it. The Pyro tries to bring it back, but Scout's already there. Gets that second touch, looking to throw it back. Zuko's too far back. Rain tries to clear it across the middle. Zuko's there looking for the double touch and does not drain it. The Pyro comes up huge despite being bumped away by his own teammate.
And I can't believe I didn't even notice this Pyro versus Scout, but more important things right now are the fact that Swinburne are still on the attack. They are unrelenting. They're hunting for this goal. It might just seal the series, as you kind of said a little bit before. Curtin, they just need to find some sort of clearance out. It needs to happen soon. Heptix does manage to pull it across the halfway mark. That's pretty good. Even though Flux managed to push it away, there's still a potential shot here. This is really good control. This is much better from Curtin, but they have a numbers disadvantage. Scout tries to put the ball up, tries to get a solid clearance out, and now it's Swinburne Black who are under pressure on the defense. And Scout gets a pretty good touch. There should be a solid passing play. Now it's a bit of a 1v1 in front of this goal, actually a 2v1 now. But there it is. There's Scout coming through from the middle of the field with the help of Flux. And they've got a big opportunity here.
That they do. Flux goes for the ground pinch. It was hit hard, but the defense ready for it. Makes that save. Under a minute to go right now. Curtin, again, desperation. They have been on defense, I feel like, for 80% of this game. They got that early goal. They haven't been able to find another. Now, finally, on that blue side of the pitch, it's an awkward touch as well from Scout. Misses the next play. Heptix already there. Tight spacing actually comes out punishing as Flux slow plays it yet again and clears it back to the orange side.
That's going to be so frustrating when you're picking up the tempo, you're feeling it, and oh no, that's got to be the one which seals it. The setup up high, the flick straight in. That was the play. That was it. That was I think the play which pulls Swinburne Black through without having to play a single extra tiebreaker. They just get another one to stack on top, and that must hurt so much for Curtin, but there is no way they are getting these 3 goals back in 15 seconds, and that's just an overtime, and that's just to force a tiebreaker. It is just too stacked against Curtin right now. I think it's done. It
is done, and where one team falls, another arises. A last goal just to sort of tie up their season, but it means very little as Swinburne Black, they go undefeated in what really became Group C. You were saying, this for you is the toughest group. I look at Group D as well as that other tough group. Either way, another goal actually at the tail end of it all. That got surprisingly close. 4-3 our final scoreline. However, the results are the same. Swinburne Black undefeated.
That's just the way it kind of comes through. And I think I was saying highest skill group, technically. Because I think there's a nuanced difference between those 2 points. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Swinburne Black have pulled through. Curtin are going to have to come back again next season. But my God, if they can bring 80% of the strength they pulled into this game, I would be so impressed with their performance. And there's a good chance that they do possibly make it into playoffs next time. Like, this is a good team. You kind of identified some of the strengths. You talked about some of the players, and I can see it, right? I'm sold. But the big story is Swinburne Black, they make it through. They're in the top seed. They're going to have a much more favorable first round for the playoffs. And I think that's most of our playoffs kind of wrapped up and sorted. I think that's most of our kind of seeding really set at the moment.
I mean, there's only one more game that we need to be watching out for, and that's in Group B, Griffith Red. They have a chance to make it a 3-way tie in that group with RMIT Red and UOW Esports Red. So that would be 3 red teams all tied atop Group B if we do get that 3-way tie. But when it comes to Group A, New Boomers, UTS Esports, they're through. Group C, Swinburne Black, UCID Rocket Lorg, they are through. Curtin, just short. And then when you look at Group D, it is Uni SA beating Lethal and UQU effing Pog Stylers, who are each going to be through right there. Now, look, I'm not a psychic. I don't know what the script says and what lies in wait. However, if we get Swinburne Black versus Uni SA beating Lethal, a.k.a. Lethal versus beating Lethal in the grand final, I'm going to be very happy.
That could be exciting. That could be a really exciting matchup. We've been saving that one we can have that one in groups. Has to be in the playoffs.
Oh.
So that'll be the entire playoffs are going to be exciting. I think. I don't think there's a lot which there've been some years where there's been a couple of teams who are just like, oh, they're here. That's cool. But I really think that like even some of the teams who didn't make it deserve to be there, possibly. And that's tough for them, but it's exciting for us, right?
Oh, it's so exciting for us. I'm just trying to find the beating lethal lineup because if I recall, it is a pretty good lineup. Yeah, of course, Blackjack Track, Pantry Wizard, Delusion, Morse. So, 2 pro players with Delusion and Morse. And then Blackjack Jack and Pantry Wizard, for those who don't know, these are 2 people who like frequent lethal stream and just troll him the entire time. So, of course, they named their team. Oh, that would be a fun final. Rocket League, again, in OCE. It's a smaller community. Everyone knows each other. And, I mean, these playoffs, there's going to be so many good teams. It's going to be so much fun to watch Fetch. I just can't wait.
I cannot wait either. It's going to be very exciting. You guys will have to. We will have to as well. But you know exactly where to find all our games, our social media. We've got to have our sponsors at the bottom of the bottom of the screen as well. Check out all of those things, of course, and follow my eye on Twitter. Yeah, that's important as well.
Yeah.
But yes, if you want to stay up to date, follow, of course, AU Esports League, and keep in touch with the games because there are other games as well. It's not just Rocket League. If you do want to look for an inferior esport, they are out there. But stick around for the playoffs. This is the most excited I think I've been for a set of teams.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an exciting playoffs for sure. So, well, I'll be around tomorrow. Not on AEL, might I add, but I'll be around. You should know where to find me if you follow Rocket League. Look out for each of us. Until then, have a great night, everybody.